G'day guys, back for another war video. Today, Chaos are taking on Celestial Avengers. The bands are Sinister, Onslaught, Serpent, Deathless Thanos and Corvus. This is War 5 or 6, I believe, Season 59. So, taking Path 1 in Section 1 and then Path 2 in Section... Path 1 in Section 2. So only 4 fights today. I will say that even though it was only 4 fights, there was quite a bit of back and forth in regards to the team. So my team will be for this war Gallon, Warlock and AA. Now the original team was, what was my original team? I think it was the leader, Hood and Dazzler. So originally the plan was leader to take Thing on the first node on 1A, and then also take Sentinel, and then Hood for Dark Phoenix and Dazzler for Warlock, Dazzler for Bullseye. So when I looked at the assignments and then I looked at the map, I had some concerns, and they were, the first concern was, I might just pause it here, so I'll just get into the story. The first concern was Dazzler taking Bullseye on that regen node. You know, it's the one where he regenerates 25% health every 10 seconds, and when you trigger a buff, he gets another regen. So obviously that wouldn't have been an issue on buff A, because Dazzler is immune to nullify, and she also doesn't get the dexterity buff. So that wouldn't have been an issue, but he still would have been regenerating 25% health every 10 seconds and getting the armor. So I was worried that as I'm building up to my SP2, I would have needed to bait a few SP1s. I would have taken some block damage because I can't fully dex his SP1, as well as he would have been probably still at quite high health once I sort of ramped up and got to my SP2, and then I would actually need to probably nuke him in one SP2. And if I didn't, then I would need to build myself back up, and by that time I'd probably die from block damage or whatever. So I had a concern there. So I suggested Warlock for that fight, and then the next concern was Dark Phoenix, because she's on the node that has 99% energy resistance, and Hood's damage, from his heavy, when he detonates his those debuffs, it's all energy damage, so he wouldn't have gained any benefit from that. So that went back and forth, and I thought I'll go with Spiral, but then also her special attacks have beams, which are also energy damage. It might have been alright with Spiral, I don't know. No one had really tested it. So we kind of scrapped Spiral. Then I asked around in a few chats, and then it ended up being maybe we go with I-Bomb, and then it changed again, and then eventually someone said, let's try AA. So that's why he's on my team. I thought AA should be good for this, as long as RNG gods are in my favour. So we'll see what happens with that fight when it comes up. And then, so that was that. But then I now have to deal with, these two guys on Path 1A. And I thought, when I looked at it and I did some duels, that the leader wasn't going to be able to take down that rank 4 Sentinel, because he's not going to have any regen on that node. And I can't reverse the regen, so I'm not really going to benefit there, and he doesn't have willpower. So I thought I'd probably time out with the leader. So the next problem was then, who do I use? And then also for Thing. So I decided I'd just go with Warlock for Thing, and then I'd bring in Gallon to take... obviously I had Warlock already because I wanted to use Warlock for Bullseye. I'd use him for Thing, and then I'd take Gallon to do Sentinel. So that's the plan. It changed. Now we've got the team, and I was pretty confident with this team. So yeah, let's get into it. Sorry about that lengthy intro there. Let me just put the sound back on, and we'll get into it. So now this is the team that I chose, and I went in with this just for the 4 fight. So quite a bit of back and forth, and I was just hoping that everything was going to work out and I wouldn't die. So this first fight, I thought, well, should be pretty straightforward. It's Warlock, I've got heel block, I'll just keep my heel block up and just parry heavy until he goes down. So that was the plan. And I mean, it works, as you'll see, but it's friggin' slow. And I actually thought I was going to time out here. I thought I was in trouble, and I was saying to myself, well, I think I've buggered this all up. I've changed the assignments and it's not going to work. I mean, at this point, I kind of felt alright. I was like, okay, with 30 seconds in, he's down to 85, but I don't know. I think I've done something wrong in this fight. I don't know what I've done, but he just wasn't losing any health. Like this point on, it was just so slow. And I was just like, okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. He's triggering protection so much. I had the right mastery set up. I tweaked my masteries, for this fight and the bullseye fight, just specifically for Warlock. See that SP2, I did it into protection there, wasn't great, but I think it was going to trigger it anyway. So it just wasn't going great. At this point, I'm like, well, now I'm in trouble because I'm coming down to 3.5 minutes and he's still at 75% health. What do I do? So I think I decided to go for an SP3 here. I thought, you know what, my SP2, that last one didn't do much, so let me get to an SP3, make sure his protection's not active, and let's see how much damage that SP3 is going to do. At the same time, I was thinking, well, that's going to waste a lot of time as well because, the animation, I can't skip it in war, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try it anyway, but again, his protection triggered again. I'm like, oh man. So now his protection's down. I think I throw it here. Yeah, his protection's still down, so what do I do? No, I keep going for heavy attacks. I don't know why. Probably because I just suck. Oh, and then that's right. Look at all that regen he just got. I think, oh, that's right. My infection just dropped off, so that was bad. He just gained like another 15% health there, and anyway. So yeah, I didn't notice that when it happened in the game. So there you go. That wasn't great. So that's going to slow me down again. So I'll throw this SP3, 10% health. I take note of that. Okay, so I'm going to take off about 10% health on an SP3. So I kept that in mind as I progressed here. And yeah, I don't know. I was just hoping that I'd be able to get him down. I really didn't have... I didn't know if I was doing something wrong in this fight. If I am, just comment in the section and let me know how I can do this a bit better. But again, there's regenning again, so the infection's dropped off, so I'm in a rush to get it back. So yeah, okay, I think I'm just not managing the infection very well in this fight, and he's just getting health back, so that's not helping. So it probably would have been okay then if I were managing that a bit better. I'm watching this back for the first time as well, so so now I'm down to 2 minutes. I don't know why I just didn't throw an SP3 there before the protection was there. I'm obviously very stupid. Okay, so now I'll throw another SP3. I'm going to take note of how much health this takes off. The last one did 10%. That one did about 10% as well. So it seems to be pretty consistent. That's my thought process at the time anyway. So I'm just plugging away here. And I'm getting close down to a minute left, and he's at 23, so I'm panicking at this point, just hoping I don't get clipped or do something that's going to just slow me down, because now every second really matters here. But now it's looking okay, because I know that he's getting close to 10%, and I've still got a minute, so as long as I can get him below 10% and drop his protection and get an SP3 off, it should kill. And I'm hoping this one kills here. If not, it's going to come close and I should be okay. So in the end, it worked out. I also had maxed the mastery where I don't know what it's called. 60%. You get a whole bunch of attack and you reduce their ability accuracy by 60%. The last 80%. Assassin mastery, that's the one. So I had that maxed out as well, so I knew if I get down to that range I was probably going to be okay if I had a bit of time left. Now we get into this Sentinel fight. This is a little bit annoying. I thought this fight was going to be really quick, but it wasn't. because I can't parry, otherwise he's going to go unblockable and get a regen buff. So I've got to stick to my SP1s as well, so I don't inflict any debuffs. So the plan here is just block attacks, bait heavies, go in, try and build up my charges, my harvest charges, and then, you know, get to max harvest and then just nuke him with one harvest. I think at rank 4, this is rank 4 Gallon, so I think at max harvest it's about 420k damage, although Sentinel reduces that damage by a certain amount. It's in his kit, so I knew that I wasn't going to be able to nuke him from full health. I think he has 460k health in this fight, so I knew as long as he's down to 80% or somewhere around there, I should be able to nuke him in one go. But anyway, we'll see what happens. So I'm going along here. I can't really get an opening to do a heavy just in normal fight without parrying, so I had to keep my relic available for when I wanted to enter harvest. So yeah, I'm not able to kind of parry and get in there, but just kind of building up to the point where I feel like my harvest is going to go to max. I should have done it there. I would have been able to get to max harvest there, but don't know why. I just decided to play it safe and go with another SP1. He's not throwing his SP1s now, so it's a little bit annoying. I don't really want to deal with his SP2 just for safety purposes. He just doesn't want to throw it. I'm thinking, oh, okay, let me throw it. I thought I might have to just push into SP2 there. Anyway, now I know I just need to get the heavy in, so I'm going to go in here, go into the relic. It's down to 70%, so I'm pretty confident this harvest is going to nuke him. Just want to bait one more special, and it doesn't. So at that point I was like, oh, you're fucking kidding me. That did not fucking kill. So obviously that ability where he reduces burst damage is quite significant, and now he's gaining power like mad, so I'm hoping he doesn't get to SP3 and go back to full health. But luckily he didn't, so now I'm like, oh well, I just need to get back into my harvest, but again, I can't parry and heavy, so I need to build my relic back up. I can't counter his heavy with mine. I tried it in duels and I just get, he ends up clipping me and I get shocked, which will probably melt all my health if I get a shock on me, so not good. So now I've got to build my relic back up, and I'm hoping I have enough time. So again, these first two fights, although the plan is good, just didn't play out the way I thought they were going to play out. But at this point I'm just trying not to panic here. I know I've got a bit of time left, and my relic, you know, it's coming up, the ability to trigger my relic here, so I'm pretty confident now I can just finish him off with this next combo. So all good. A lot of overkill, but that's fine. It's better than nothing. Alright, so next fight we've got this Dark Phoenix. I'm using Archangel. And I've got the boosts on for the next fight because I'm going to use an invul here, and then I want that invul to carry over to the next fight, because I'm hoping this fight's going to be quick. Unlike my last two fights, I'm hoping this one will be a nuke. If I get good RNG, it will be. If I don't, it's going to be a slugfest and I may end up dying. But now I feel like I've got 2 Neuros already and I'm only 2 heavies in, and now I've got 3, so I'm pretty much going to shut her off. So I'm feeling confident now, I'm feeling good. She throws an SP1, none of her debuffs trigger. She's fantastic, I'm getting more Neuros up, everything's going well. Her health is slowly dropping, quickly dropping I should say. Hoping to get some more Neuros, got a nice amount of poisons on there. Another heavy, she's up to 5 Neuros. At this point I'm loving it. I'm really loving what I'm seeing here. 4 Neuros, she's getting down. Got an SP1 available to convert some of those. And bam, she goes down. That was super fast, I'm happy with that. So that was a relief. That worked out well. I was glad about that, because that was a lot of debate in. Now I'm just quickly switching my masteries over for this bullseye fight with Warlock. I healed him up before I went into the Phoenix fight, just so everything would be ready, and my invol's still active, so that's all good. So I've got max suicides, I've got max collar tech, everything just to kind of keep his power at bay. Plan here is just parry, you know, light attacks, heavy attacks, that sort of thing, keep his power draining. My armor gets nullified, but I'm not too worried about that. The only main thing here is just to keep him the infection up, just so he constantly power drains and he can't regenerate. Everything else should be fine. There's no real risk here apart from getting hit, but the invul will save me. So yeah, at this point it's looking good. He's ticking down. I'm getting to my SP2, getting ready to kind of throw that when I can. I've got some power back boosts on, which are really nice with Warlock when he has suicides. Such a great champ, Warlock, honestly. So handy in war. Yeah, just at this point everything's going as per plan, and that's it. Nice and easy. So bad start to the war, but a nice finish to the war. So that's my war for I think number 5 or 6, I can't remember, for season 59. Bit of a close one, this one, so hopefully we can pull it out, pull out the win. And yeah, see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.